What's up, guys? Brian back to do a Walking Dead Season 7 video. We got a poll question: would you rather die by Negan or the governor? The Spoiling Dead Fans Season 7 update with some filming news, some big news that happened yesterday and today, and some Season 7 Episode 8 predictions. We got some spoilers ahead from the comic book, potential spoilers ahead on the show, what may happen on there too, and check out our Walking Dead community and fill out the poll question on there to give a vote for that on Facebook. But Herschel died by the governor. We all know in that Season 4. Would you rather die by that or Lucille is basically what you're doing in the lineup. So, I don't know. Do you want to be the risk of your head getting chopped off by the governor? I mean, both ways are terrible to die, but do you want to be a risk of a zombie head just sitting there chomping on nothing for a while? Or, there's no way that Michonne could possibly chop your head off, but maybe it happens, who knows. But there you go. Tyrese in the comics dies by the governor and Herschel on the show. So there was just a little difference. We want to talk about that. Or would you want to die by basically Lucille, the Glenn with the bat in the lineup there too? On the show, it's most likely going to be Abraham, then Glenn is what the predictions are. I trust that. You want to end up looking like this with your eyeball popped out. There's no risk of you turning into a zombie, though, so that's the only thing upside, I guess. Or getting your head chopped off by the governor here. So in the comic, like I said, Tyrese gets his head chopped off by the governor, who's got the eye patch on the other side. He's missing his right hand, but it's a little different. Issue 46, The Walking Dead. Tyrese is the victim. Some people didn't know that. Instead of Herschel, that's the difference they changed on the show. I thought that was just a little good change. A little different on there, too, because Tyrese is drastically different in the comics versus the show. But he's the victim there. So would you want that victim by the governor, Michonne's katana, or Lucille in the lineup by Negan in the lineup, getting your head bashed in, getting hit several times where you would think, theoretically, that the katana would just cut your head off and the baseball bat's going to hit you repeatedly. You'll still get some feeling in there. These are two terrible ways to die. You might want to see like this. You want this view as your last one. Blood spurting up like that. I'm going with that's Glenn and Rosita. I still think it is. Some people say it's Dwight or a savior or this or that, but I still think it's that. Abraham's going to be the die. Our prediction, their predictions. Do you want to end up looking like this? Being a Polaroid on the wall? Who's taking these Polaroids, by the way? That's kind of crazy to have that up on the wall. I probably would want to take out Negan. This was a great picture at San Diego Comic-Con. Stephen Yun holding Lucille, going out in the crowd with Norman Reedus. That actually happened this past weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. So take our poll on the Walking Dead community group on Facebook. Definitely give us a follow on there. So there you go. What would you pick? But yesterday at Alexandria, this is the Spoiling Dead fans. Check them out for the latest and greatest things. At Alexandria was Negan, Carl, Spencer, Rosita, Eugene, and Judith were filming at Alexandria. So that's Season 7, Episode 7 was that. There were some rumored reports that Jesus, Daryl, and Morgan were also there. However, we don't think they were filming at this time, so it looks like Negan has returned Carl home. What an outstanding guy. Judith is there, but Rick doesn't appear to be back at the safe zone yet. This unsettling to anyone else? Yeah. Negan with Judith? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. That's not in the comics, so we'll see what they do with that. Today's filming continues at Alexandria. It's the first day of the mid-season finale. Dun dun dun, let the fun begin. So, Season 7, Episode 7, they're back at Alexandria. Season 7, Episode 8, mid-season finale. Right here, started filming today, Tuesday, 7/26, July 26th. Continues at Alexandria. So, Season 7, the end of it's going to be pretty cool. And what I think is going to happen here is that Jesus is going to take Rick and whoever wants to go to the kingdom. They're going to meet Ezekiel. Carol and Morgan will already be there, of course, and you're gonna see that connection there too, because that's kind of what happens in the comic. Carl is at the sanctuary, goes back, Negan takes him back, and then Jesus goes to meet, takes Rick to meet Ezekiel. So I think that's where it's going to be in the mid-season finale, is Rick is going to finally meet Ezekiel, because we're only going to see Ezekiel in Episode 3, and then we're not going to see him for a little bit. It's going to be a little different from the comics, I think, but ultimately I think it's going to be a kind of a testy connection there too, because Rick's going to be on guard. So I think Shiva might even go after him a little bit, so it might be a little tense. But I think nothing's going to happen there, too, with Shiva and the group. But it's going to be a tense moment where you're like, oh, man, we need this group. It's going to be, well, we got to build up that connection and relationship there, too, because Rick's going to be, on edge still after all the crap. So I think that that'll probably happen, but the big thing is going to be Ezekiel and Rick, and they were Alexandria or Survivors, whatever you want to call them, meet and connect. Carol and Morgan will already be there, and I don't know if Carol and Morgan are going to meet Ezekiel in episode 3. I just don't know how they're going to do that, because that's totally different than the comics. So what do you think? Who do you think meets Ezekiel first? Carol and Morgan, or Rick and Jesus there? I don't know. I think that, I don't know if this is going to be the meeting of Rick going in there to meet him, or that's going to be where Carol and Morgan go in there to meet him, because it's going to be a little testy, but we'll see. I think it's going to come around on there too, but that's going to be a big epic day when Rick Grimes meets Ezekiel and Shiva. It's going to be pretty awesome. So I think that's what's going to be a big part of the mid-season finale, where it's going to end for going into the second part of season 7. So what do you think, guys? Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I want to say thank you for watching. We just hit 3,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Let's keep this channel growing. Keep it going. Post your comments below, guys. And what do you think? And we love The Walking Dead. Thanks, guys.